Camping is pretty fun, minus the toilet situation, because that's never good. But the open air, the stars, the scary sounds at night, super fun. My family used to go camping every year. In fact, we still do, but this year's supposed to be the last time. When we went camping, there really wasn't much notable that happened. It isn't until I brought my friend along. We'll just call him Nick, because that's his name. His name is Nick. Last year, I shoved him in a car and took him to Missouri for camping. The trip there was kind of boring, but there was a lot of dabbing. While we were camping, me and him mostly ran around by ourselves and explored stuff. Luckily, there wasn't any axe murderers in the woods. There was a lot of turtles, though. We found a lot of turtles. We ended up making a little story about it where the turtles were little forest guardians. I even found a little round rock, which we said was a dragon egg. I still have it. Nick found a cool rock, too. It looked kind of like a broken shield, which we made a story for as well, but he broke it. At some point, we went exploring a nearby cave. Not alone, though. The rest of the family came this time. Not much happened, but we did see bats. That was pretty cool. When we left the cave, me and Nick ran ahead of everyone else and ended up pretty convinced that we were lost. There wasn't any other way to go to get on the way back, but we were still convinced we were lost. We did make it back to camp, though, and swam in the creek for the rest of the day, which we did a lot because the camp we set up was right beside the creek. At one point while we were swimming, we ended up coming up with the great idea to ride our floaty tube off the side of the waterfall into the current. We flipped the tube like 90% of the time, or at least I did. But since I'm such a limp noodle, I couldn't swim against the current, and Nick had to come get me. He ended up super tired, which is when the kids wanted to try. That's right, we threw little kids off of a waterfall into a current. The waterfall was only like 2 feet tall, though. Nick had to swim after the kids, too, by the way. That was until Mom suggested we just tie a rope to the tube and send them over. And I'm pretty sure we did that for the rest of the day. All I remember is that I got a super bad sunburn, like head to toe. It was really painful. After that, we spent a day or two with my grandma because she lives in Missouri. That's where my sister and her friend were staying while the rest of us were camping. Not much happened while we were there, but I did bury Nick in the park. We ended up going back to the camp on the last day of the trip, which was the 4th of July, by the way. Me, my sister, and our friends mostly just hung out by the water and watched the stars and bats. Look, a bat! That's a dragonfly. What? It was pretty silly. Eventually, we did shoot off fireworks, which was right above us. It sounds super cool and awesome. And it was, for my friend, because that's when I realized I'm scared of fireworks. I ended up ditching and going to the bathroom, and when I came back, Nick had a huge turtle. I don't know where it came from, but it was extremely mad and smelled like fish. He's with the forest guardians. We did put him back, though, and that was pretty much the last interesting thing that happened on the trip, minus a huge storm on the road trip back, which was terrifying. Bleh. Dude, berry. Bleh. Bleh. Which, bleh.